Hare Krishna. So, welcome to the virtual online class as continuation of Damodarastakam series, because only 7 days, last 7 days left to the this Damodar Kartik month. So, we will discuss on the continuation of Damodarastakam verse 2, and we had the Damodarastakam verse 1. So, now we will continue this Damodarastakam verse number 2. So, it is very important to understand this Damodarastakam in truth, in deep knowledge, understanding it, not just, reciting it and offering lamb that completed, that does not complete your thing. You have to stay there, you have to absorb what is the real essence of Damodarastakam, what is the essence of this Damodar Lila Lord has exhibited, that is so dear to the devotees. What is this essence of that? What is this attribute of the Lord that bring the Lord under the subordination of the devotees? That we must understand very thoroughly all the tattvas. So then we can really release this Damodar Leela. Otherwise, it's just like hearing it and forget it after 1 month, forget it. No, this is not the way that we should remember Damodar Leela. It should be always absorbed in the knowledge of Krishna Katha. Krishna Katha. So anyway, we will, without observing knowledge, we become a sentimental devotee. After life, years after years after years, we will be there in 30 years, 40 years in this movement, and no transcendental knowledge, no advancement, because we have shut down our interest of hearing it in knowledge, in truth, hearing it or understanding it properly. Without understanding it, everything become superficial. So let us start and with Mangalacharan. Om Nam Om Jnana Timirandasya Gana Anjana Salakaya Chakkuru Nimiletanjena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Jana Bhutale Soyam Rupa Kadamahyam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Jutta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaisnavanam Cha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Sri Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana-sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalitam Sri Vishakhambitam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sutta Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Mancha Kalpatrivasya कृपा सिंधु वैवच पतितानं पावनभ्या वैष्णवभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णा प्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमति भक्ति वेदांत स्वामीति नामिनि नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्णा चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Thank you very much. So how important the knowledge in relationship with Supreme Lord? Without understanding the properly, in truth, tat tata, Krishna say, janma karma chame divyam evam jo beti tata. So the activities and the appearance of the Lord to be understood in truth, tat tata, not just superficially. Not just superficially. If you become superficially, then you will remain in the neophyte levels. Therefore, it is a beautiful verses. It is say that knowledge has to be in 2, 3, 12. It is very important to have a knowledge of the proper knowledge, the transcendental knowledge in relation to the Lord. It is said that jnanam yad apratinirvitra gunnarmi chakram atma prasada uta अत्र गुणेषु असंग कैवल्य समता पथास्तु अथ भक्ति जोगो को निव्रत हरि कथासु रतिम न कुर्यात. See, very important. It is say that in this verse that transcendental knowledge in relation with Supreme Lord Hari is the knowledge resulting in complete suspension of waves and whirlpools of material modes. Such knowledge is self-satisfying due to its being free from material attachment, and being transcendental, it is approved by authorities. Who could fail to be attracted? Who could fail to be? It's very nice Sanskrit. Ko nivrita hari kathasu ratim na kuryat. Who can be who could fail to be attracted? Harikatha is so attractive. Tadeva ramyam ruchiram navam navam. Manochavam, it is very uchava, it is a festival Harikatha. Who cannot be attracted? Therefore, the transcendental knowledge is so important. Without that, everything becomes superficially. We cannot advance in Krishna consciousness. We will be stagnated, which has been very, rampantly seen and palpably felt in the moment that 90% of the devotees, they do not try to understand. They simply hear it in this and it will stay for some time, they forget. Therefore, Prabhupada says that you must understand transcendental knowledge. Krishna says, in truth, tat-tataha. In truth, you should understand. That is very important to understand in meaning of that. So we are continuing with the Lila Vishesa of the Lord, the transcendental pastime of the Lord. How Lord was what happened in the first verses, that he was breaking the pot and he was hiding and stealing the butter. After breaking the pot and he was stealing the butter, and he was being chased by the mother Josoda, and mother Josoda is catching him behind, and he was now after catching the Lord from the behind. And what happened now, the second verses is continuation of that Lila Vishesa. Then one of the beautiful verses I will show you, that how very important is the Krishna Katha. It is said that Rupa Goswami has said that beautiful aho vina kale vidyota, the transcendental pastime of the Lord. It is aho bir kalenna vidyota sudha sudhara madhuram pade pade, madhuram pade pade, dine dine chandana chanda charitam jaso jaso datanayas giyate. So aho bir kaler vidyate. In Kali Yuga, if anybody wants to get out from this scorching sun or get out from this miseries of the Kali Yuga, one has to always hear Jasodatanayasya Giyate, always glorify this glorification of the Jasodatanaya Krishna. Damodarastakam is the Krishna Leela, his attribute of his guna, guna vaisishta. His guna vaisishta is a transcendental attribute of his guna qualities. Tattva is his rupa vaisishta, sachidananda rupa, lasata kundalam. His rupa excellence of his attribute of rupa forms, his lila vishesha, his tattva vishesha, his gokula is a place, his residence, and that is also the super excellent qualities of this gokula, super excellent glories of the gokula. These are the tattva. These are the transcendental attribute of the Lord. That has to be understood properly. Otherwise, it becomes superficial, and you will not get advancement, it attracts on the love for the Lord. Our whole idea to prema pramartha mahan. Unless we develop the love, we cannot capture the Lord. Jasoda Maya capturing the Lord because the dint of his loving devotional service. That is whole idea, that we have to develop that love for the Lord in order to catch him. Otherwise, we cannot catch him. The yogis and all, they are trying to catch the Lord, but they fail. Even Lord do not accept the mastership. They are so much praying, they are telling, we are so much praying to you, to make you our master. Lord evade them. Lord do not want to become master. On the other hand, Lord want to become a servant. Bhakti-baddham, bhakti-baddham. Here on the other hand, Lord becomes the servant of his devotees. So that is quite, contradiction and quite bewildering, because Lord has the transcendental attribute to come under the devotees. Beautiful verses, Stavamala, all the verses, Shrutam api apus, the next verse, one of the message of the Upanishad is far from the nectar topics of Lord Hari. For this reason, Upanishad study does not result in heart melting with emotion, ecstatic symptoms, such as trembling, shedding tears, standing hairs on the body. See, here beautifully Rupa Goswami says that Upanishad is far from all the things. Vedesu dullabam adullabam atma bhakto govindam adipurusam. Govinda cannot be obtained. Nayam sukapa bhagavana gopika sudehinam gopika sutta. Jnaninam chatma bhutanam yatha bhaktir mamodita. Only by bhakti you can capture the Lord. There is no other way we can capture the Lord. By no other means we can capture the Lord. Bhaktya tu anannaya sakhya. Only by bhakti understood the Lord. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 11:54 that Arjuna bhaktya tu anannaya sakhya aham eva buddha Arjuna jantam drashtum tattena praveshtum cha parantapa. You can understand me, jantam, you can understand me, you can see me also. Lord is showing his transcendental form, Vishwarupa. He is showing his 400 form. He is showing his original 200 form to Arjuna. How? What made this Arjuna to qualify to see the Lord? All these forms. Only Krishna says that bhaktya tu anannaya sakhya. Only because of devotional service, Arjuna, you can understand me, you can see me, and you can enter into my mystery. Mystery of understanding. Praveshtum cha parantapa. That is the only qualification. And Jasoda Maya, that only qualification it is showing. So it is very important to understand this thing, so that we can develop that pure love for the Lord in order to capture Him. Otherwise, we will be stagnated, because this by superficial understanding will not help us to advance in Krishna consciousness. We will remain in a neophyte level. Simply, we are thinking that when these 8 verses will be recited, and I will offer the lamb, that is my finish of my Damodarastakam. No, we should stay there, observe there. Why? Rudantam, muhur, netra-yugmam, jantam. What made the Lord to crying? Rudantam means he is crying, rubbing his hand in his 2 lotus hands. Fear of Mother Jasoda. What made the Supreme Personality Godhead who is feared by fear personality? Great personality like Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, they are fearing. That is what Parikshit Maharaj is telling. Oh my Lord, all this big personality, they are fearing. See, here it is saying that, oh my Lord, transcendental poet. Sorry, this is the beautiful verses that where this yeah. So here it is said, the Maharaj Parikshit, this entire universe with great exalted demigods like Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, Lord Indra is under the control of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yet the Supreme Lord has one transcendental activity. He comes under the control of his devotee. This was now exhibited by Krishna in this pastime. See, this is a quite contradiction. Fear, personified fear. Lord is under the fear. Lord is under the subordination of the devotee. A servant. Vritta is beautiful, it is said that Vritta Pasyata, you can see here Vritta Pasyata. Sorry, you can see here these verses that here Vritta Pasyata. Vritta Pasyata means Lord is under subordination. Even yogis and they are, Lord refuse to become their master because they are impersonal. The yogis and all the things, the Vedantists, they refuse to become, Lord refused to become master, their master. But Lord here comes, becomes servant. Everything is become reversal here, totally opposite. Lord is stealing water. On the other hand, he is the Vaikuntapati. Isavasyam idam charmam yat kinchit jagatayam jagata. Everything belongs to him. Aham sarvasya prabhava matah sarvam prabhatate. Bhaktaram jagyam tapasam sarvalokka mahesara. He is the sarvalokka mahesara. He is stealing the butter. In own house he is stealing butter. He is stealing the butter from the neighbors. Where the Satasartha Lakshmi, Sar Satasartha Lakshmi Sevayamanam. He is the master of all the Lakshmi, goddess of riches, Lakshmi. And that Lord is stealing butter as if he is poverty stricken. He does not have any butter, he does not have any milk. He is coming and drinking milk from the Mother Jasoda. He is stealing the butter from the neighborhood. Why this contradiction? Because Lord has that same excellent attribute that no, he wanted to become subordinate to devotee. The Mayavadi philosophy, they want to become one with Lord, but in Vaishnava philosophy, the devotee is more than the God, and God accepts this. The Krishna accepts this. The superiority of the superior, not only accept, he is very pleased. He is very pleased, and not only pleased, he makes the devotee in a such exalted position more than the God. That is the quintessence of this Damodar Leela. This is quintessence of this bhakti, that Lord made the devotee more exalted than himself. That is the Damodar Leela. That is the quintessence of bhakti. Just like, Prabhupada is already, everything I am repeating Prabhupada one. Prabhupada says, our Vaishnava philosophy, you are more than God. Lord accepts this. Just like Arjuna. Arjuna was the hero, actually real hero is Krishna. But Lord himself introduced as a chariot driver and give all credit to Arjuna. Although Lord is, in fact, he is the real hero. Everything is doing different. Stealing butter, stealing this, everything is like he is not speaking the sarvadharman parityada. Sarvadharman parityada is spoken when outside Vrindavan. Inside Vrindavan, he totally no dharma. He is beyond all dharma. Stealing butter is not dharma. But that is the supreme dharma. That is the lila visesa, his pastime, the transcendental pastime of the Lord, where he comes and where he is exhibiting such a super excellent, enduring, supremely enduring, supremely enduring pastimes, enchanting pastime to please the devotee. Please the devotee. Janata prapanna janata ananda. निष्प्रपंच पपंच निष्प्रपंच vidhambaya se bhutale prapanna janatananda. To give pleasure to the devotee, he comes under the subordination. That is his mercy. That is his supremely supreme mercy of the Lord. He comes under the subordination, the devotee. So we will go through this. Therefore, it is very important to understand that how Krishna. So we will go to the second verses of Damodarastakam. Rudantam muhur netra-yugmam jantam karāmbhoja-yugmena ka-netram muhuh śvāsa-kampa-trirekhān sthita-graivam dāmodaram bhakti-baddham. Rudantam muhur netras. His rudantam, rubbing his netra, muhur netra, he is rubbing his eyes with two lotus hands. Yugmam, in two hands. Jantam, marjana, the subbing. Jantam, karāmbhoja, in two hands. Yugmena ka-netram. So after he has been caught, now he is thinking that I am now going to be punished. So in order to show his fear, he is like crying. Rudantam muhur netra, he is crying and rubbing his and all the tears has become forming just like ordinary child, and he is rubbing his two eyes with his two lotus hands. And what he is doing, and sobbing so that his mother will show the empathy and escape. He can escape from this beating or punishment. So what he is doing, by seeing the whipping stick, he is rubbing his hand. So he is seeing the whipping stick in mother's hand, he is rubbing his eyes with two lotus hand, and he is crying. He is crying and rubbing his hand. ka-netram muhuh śvāsa-kampa-trirekhān sthita-graivam dāmodaram bhakti-baddham. The pearls of necklace around his neck, who is marked in 3 lines of conch, his pearls of necklace, beautiful necklace he is wearing, that is shaking because of due to quick muhuh śvāsa-kampa-trirekhān means is breathing, because he was running and he has been captured and he is now sobbing. Because of sobbing he is crying, breathing because he is crying. Due to crying he is breathing. So sthita-graivam dāmodaram bhakti-baddham. Bhakti-baddham means, Lord, you are bound not with the ropes but with the mother's pure love. Who can bind? What rope in this 3 world can bind the Lord? Lord, in last verse, Satyavarta Muni has nicely spoken, nicely has composed that. What is that? Last verse is composed that Namaste tu dhamni spurad depti dhani. Who can bind? Namaste tu dhamni. I offer my obeisance to the ropes, effulgent ropes, brilliantly effulgent ropes. And then I offer my obeisance to your belly. Your belly, which is the abode of entire universe. From the Lord belly is the wonderful lotus flowers sprouted, and from that lotus flower Brahma created, and 14 planetary system has been created. That means his belly is the abode of entire universe, and the rope is holding that. That means that is the effulgent of Brahmajyoti. Rope is compared to your Brahmajyoti. Jasya prabhava prabhavat jagadanda koti koti swasesa vasudadi vibhutti vinnam. Yad Brahma niskalam, tad Brahma niskalam anantam asesa bhutam govindam. That Brahma Jyoti. So that who can bind that? Who can bind the Lord with the ropes? No ropes are there to bind the Lord. But Yashoda Maya is menaced to, is able to bind the Lord. That is what here in these verses is showing, that how Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, which cannot be obtained by any yogis, any big personality, cannot be captured, cannot be bound, and he is bound. He is bound by the ropes of the Yashoda Maya. He is bound by the ropes. How it is possible? It is said that the person who is unbound others and he become bound, that is quite a contradiction. Brahma, in Vishnu Purana it is said that Jasya smarana matrena murtu sansara bandhanat vimuchyate. Just by mere thought of the Lord, we will unbound from this obnoxious material misery of cycle of birth and death. This murtu sansara vimuchyate, we will be released, we will be unbound simply by mere thought of the Lord. Jasya smarana matrena murtu sansara vimuchyate. That Lord is now bound. That Lord is bound. And one of the Bilva Mangala also praying that, my Lord, the beautiful verses, Bilva Mangala is praying that Chintansi Goram, Chinnasi Goram, Yamapasa Bandam, Vinnasi Vinam, Bhavapasa Bandam, Chinnasi Sarvasya Samasta Bandam, Chinnasi Sarvasya Samasta Bandam, Naivatmanam Bhakta Kittam tu Baddham. See, beautiful verses. That you caught the terrible news of Yamaraj, you sever the dreadful news of material existence, you slash everyone's material bondage, but you are unable to cut the knot fastened by your own loving devotees. See, you terrible news of Yamaraj, when Yamaraj comes and with rope bind the conditioned souls back to Yamlok for punishment, and because simply by hearing your names they will be released, just like our Ajamila. Ajamila at the time of death and taking the name of Narayana, he was released from the Phasa, Yamaraj Phasa, Yamabandhana, simply by taking the name of the Lord, simply by mere thought of the Lord. Everybody become unbound from the punishment, unbound from this material misery. You sever the dreadful news of material existence. This again say, murtu sansara vimuchyate. Jasya smarana matra mrityu sansara vimuchyate. You slash everyone material bondage, everyone in this material world bondage. They are in bondage. They are bound by the three modes of material nature. And by simply mere thought, mere taking the name of the Lord, unbounded. They are unbounded. They are released from the material bondage. But you are unable to cut the knot fastened by your own life. But you are now caught, you are bound by your mother Yashoda, and you are not able to escape. You are not able to unbound it, release it. How it is so, wonderful pastimes, Lila Vishesa. How such a utter contradiction, that is so endearing, that Supreme Lord, who is really unbound, release everyone from the Yamaraj Phasa Bandhanam, who is unbound from everyone from the material existence and material bondage. He is now bound by his mother Yashoda, and he is not able to escape, not able to unbound. That is called bhaktya-bandham, bhakti-jittatam, bhakti-baddham. Bhakti-jitatam, bhakti-baddham. He is bound by the bhakti. Rudantam muhur netra-yugmam jantam. Rudantam muhur netra-yugmam jantam. So, muhuh śvāsa-kampa-trirekhān, sthita-graivam dāmodaram, bhakti-baddham. You are bound by the bhakti, not just simply the ropes. Therefore, you are not able to unbound it. You are not able to escape it, because you are bound by the bhakti. That is the only thing that will bound you. Otherwise, there is no such ropes has been created in the three world that can bind the Supreme Lord. That is to be understood, that how Lord is coming under the subordination. Bhaktya vachala, bhakti-baddham, bhaktir-jitatam, bhakta-paradhina, bhaktya vasyatta. Everything is bhaktya, only by bhakta. Bhaktya mama vijananti javanja chasmi tattatah. Bhaktya mama, only bhaktya. Bhaktya to anannaya sakhya. Everything is bhaktya. So this is only qualification, only things we should develop, prema pumartha mahan. Then we can capture the Lord, we can bind the Lord. Otherwise there is no possibility, there is no possible for us to bind the Lord. He cannot be captured. He cannot be captured by jnana karma. Therefore Rupa Goswami has said only qualification, only things, qualities that will bound the Lord is bhakti. That is the bhakti. Anya vilasita sunyam jnana karmadi anarvatam anukullena krishnanushilanam bhakti ruttam. The pure devotional service which is free from all tinge of the knowledge and karma, primitive activity, that only has, that can bind the Lord. That can bind the, otherwise there is no way. Krishna said no. In the next verses Krishna said no, itidriksva lila vira ananda kunde sogasam nimanjatam. Satyavarta Muni telling no, you are not, you cannot be captured by the devotee. You are absorbed in your knowledge of supreme majesty and opulences. You cannot be vedesu dullabam adullabam bhaktivato atma bhakto. You only captured by those devotees whose pure love imbues with the intimacy and free from all conception of awe and reverence. Therefore, Vaikuntha Janita Puri. Rupa Goswami say, Vaikuntha also you cannot get this kind of prema the lila. This kind of transcendental pastime you cannot get in Vaikuntha. Vaikuntha is you cannot get. Therefore, it is this prema lila or this beautiful pastime of Damodara lila is very super excellent. Position is very super excellent than any other pastime of the Lord. Not even Vaikuntha also cannot even compare to that. Therefore, Rupa Goswami says in Nectar of Instruction that Vaikuntha Janita. Vaikuntha also cannot compare to the Vrindavan, to Gokul. He is super excellent. So therefore, this is very, very important to understand that how the Supreme Lord is under the subordination of his devotees and his is crying and robbing and in fear of Mother Jashoda, and this kind of things is very bewildering. Even Kunti Devi is telling is very bewildering. Vidambana is telling very bewildering for the devotees like Kunti Devi also. How the great Lord is under the control of the Jashoda Maya, is fearing when Mother Jashoda is showing his stick, is fearing and crying rudantam muhur netra-yugmam jantam karāmbhoja-yugmena santa ka-netram. So wonderful pastime of the Lord, Satyavarta Muni is very nicely praying that in his ecstasy that my Lord, how you are seeing the whipping stick, how you are crying and rubbing your hand, rubbing your eyes with two lotus and pearls of necklace is shaking due to your because of your quick breathing due to crying. And to that Supreme Lord who is bind not with the robes but with the Mother's pure love, I humbly pay obeisances. So that is the essence of this verses, and Krishna also say that beautiful verses. Krishna say that moro putra moro sokha moro prana prati ei baba ei more kare suddha bhakti. That is suddha bhakti. Suddha bhakti means apanaka bade mane amara samahina ei baba ei ami tathara adhina. If one cherishes pure loving devotion to me, thinking of him as his son, his friend, his beloved, regarding himself as a great, considering me as equal or inferior, I become subordinate to him. That is Sudha Bhakti means Lord is inferior, equal or inferior. Nobody in Vrindavan or Gokul, they take Lord as a superior to him. Jashoda Maya and Nanda Maharaj, they asking you, bring this shoes for me, and taking the shoes on the head and bringing that Supreme Lord whose lotus feet, Rama Sambhu, Brahmarapati Ganesha, Chitapada Jagannath Swami, all this big personality, towering personality like Brahma, Lord Lakshmi, Lord Shiva, they are at the feet of the Lord, and that Lord bringing the shoes of Nanda Maharaj on his head. That is quite extraordinarily super excellent attribute of the Lord. Therefore, there is when Jasoda Maya was binding him, there is always a 2-inch shot. So he is bringing more and more rope to bind. Every time he adds some ropes, still is always short of 2 inch of rope, and finally he gave up. So Lord, no, finally is bringing all the ropes from the neighborhood, still is 2 inch. That indicates that 2 inch, that to capture the Lord we need 2 things. Then only you can capture the Lord. First thing is that you have to endeavor with pure love to capture the Lord. Second thing is that one has to be supremely merciful. Lord is supreme mercy. Unless Lord allowed, agreed to become under the devotee, there is no way that we can bind the Lord. So the 2 things is very important. We have to put our effort to execute that, pure love, and to attain that pure love. And we need also the mercy of supreme merciful Lord has to agree. We need the mercy of the Lord. So in 2 things, if it is there, then we are able to bind the Lord, just like Jasoda Maya did it. Bhakti-baddham, that bhakti-baddham. So Lord agrees by seeing that Mother Jasoda is perspiring out of all the endeavor, he is not able to bind him. Then he is very merciful. He was very merciful and agreed to be bound by his mother. That is a super excellent attribute of bhaktya vasyatam, bhakti badham, bhaktya anugraha, bhaktya vachalla, and also bhakta paradina. Ham mi bhakta paradina, ham bhakta paradina, yasatantra ibhadijya, sadhavi gastodaye, bhaktir bhakta janapriya. So that is the transcendental attribute of the Lord who comes under the Lord. So this is the essence of the second verse. In second verse only, actually this whole pastime has been covered by the Satyavarta Muni. In third verses, actually he is speaking about the his other attribute of the Lord, that how by this transcendental pastime you are drowning the inhabitant of Gokula into pool of ecstasy, how ecstatic your Krishna Katha. Krishna Katha is always ruchiram, ramyam ruchiram, tadeva ramyam ruchiram navanam, always praise. More and more you hear about these things, more you understand that, more get attracted to the Lord. That's why he is coming and enacting all the pastime. Anugrahasya bhaktanam dehinam manusam dehiyasritam tad bhajati tad driskrida. Yes, Srutta Tatpar. By hearing, by understanding that, we can develop the attraction for him. That is whole idea is coming, because we are so conditioned, we have no attraction now. Yadanu anuraga. Idistram yadanu anuraga. We have no attraction for the Lord. We have no attraction for Krishna Katha. We have no attraction for Damodarastakam. Simply you go, finish it, offer the lamp, and just wind up. No. We have to absorb that in the knowledge how this beautiful lila has been exhibited by the Supreme Lord in his beautiful Bhakta Vachalla attribute, super excellent attribute. We should absorb that. Then only we can really develop the love for him. So that is the whole idea about this verse. And therefore Krishna say that 11, 14, 16, beautiful. With the dust of my devotee lotus feet I desire to purify material world which is situated within me. Thus I always follow the footsteps of my pure devotee, who are free from all personal desire, wrapped in thought of my pastime, peaceful, without any feeling of enmity, equal disposition everywhere. So this is what they think, that how Lord is so great. He is putting in the high pedestal. He is putting the Lord of devotee in a very high position. So much so that he is here speaking, he is given a statement that to Uddhava, that the dust of the I always desire the dust of my pure devotee lotus feet to purify the world. See how much Lord is giving the position, exalted position to devotees. So therefore, we have to become devotee of the Lord. 646 Krishna say that जो Tasmad yogi bhava Arjuna. You become a bhakti yogi, you become a devotee. Someone you become a devotee of the Lord. Manamana bhava Madha Bhakti, you become a devotee. When you become a devotee, you can only enter into the Krishna Loko. In association of devotee, you can enjoy the pastime. You can release the pastime. You can be associated with the Lord. That is the actually purpose of human form of life. How to attain Krishna, how to Krishna prema, particularly Krishna prema. When Krishna prema attain, automatically Krishna, not only Krishna attain, Krishna become a subordination. In subordination, you are more than greater than the God. Devotee become greater than the God. That is Vaishnava philosophy. Not unlike the Mayavada philosophy, they want to one with Lord. No, you are greater than Lord. So thank you very much. So we will continue with the third verses, and see, there's a beautiful verses before I leave. That Lord who is always satyam, satyam vritam, satyam param trisatyam, sattasya yanim nitam cha satya, sattasya satyam rita satya netram, satyatmakam tvam saranam prapanna. Satyam Vratam, he is full Supreme Lord, is Satyam Paramadhimahi. He is the epitome embodiment of Satya. He is the supreme absolute truth. Everything is absolute truth. But when he comes to Vrindavan, everything becomes Asatya. Everything becomes topsy-turvy. He is under subordination of the devotee. He is stealing the butter. He is being advised. And the gopis and all, they used to tell that you dance, then only we can give butter. He is dancing on the on the mood of gopis, on the order of gopis. He is the order carrier. So everything become, just opposite. Although he is satyam vratam, satyam param tri satyam, sattasya yanim satyam nihitam cha satya. He is satyam paramadhimai, he is satyam param satyam. But that param satyam become a satyam in Vrindavan because of his bhakta vachalata, bhakta paradhinata, bhakta vasyatam, bhakti-baddham, bhakti-ditatam, bhakta paradhinata. So how bhakti is very important. Na sadhayati mam yogya, na dharma, na sankhyoddhava, na sankhya dharmoddhava, na tapastyaga, na sodha tapastyaga, datha bhaktir mamodita, aham bhakta ekagraha. So, aham bhakta ekagraha, aham bhakta paradhina. Everything is telling, I am under control of the Lord. I can be obtained by the love. I can be obtained by the bhakti. So how bhakti, the position of the bhakti is so exalted. Therefore Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Prema Pumartha Mahan. The purpose of human form of life is to develop that love, that Suddha love, Suddha Bhakti, which has been exhibited by the gopis. Gopya. What Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that, Brajena Braja Braja Badhuna Aradhya Bhagavan Brajasya Tanaya Tadhama Mundavanam Brajabadhu Vargena Jakalpite. So Brajabadhu Vargena, the Brajabadhu, how they exhibited the love, that love is high topmost worshipful. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Jai Sri Damodarastakam ki jai. Satyavarta Muni ki jai. Jai Sri Radha Damodar ki jai. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Tai Gaur Hari Hari Bo.